Hey guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I am doing a review of the Divine Muses Oracle by Marie Bento, and she is the creator of a tarot deck as well, so I will list her Etsy shop down below if you are interested in her oracle or anything else she has in her shop. She's very talented, she's got a lot of wonderful things there, but of course with these reviews, it's not telling people that they have to buy anything. I just am in love with artwork and all the different interpretations people have for oracle cards, for tarot cards, and all the wonderful art that's out there. So I just want to share that with you. And let's go ahead and jump right into this. So the Divine Muses Oracle comes with a really freaking awesome guidebook. We'll jump into that in a moment. And it also comes with this little zippered pouch, which is made of kind of like almost like a neoprene almost, sort of. It's kind of got a little bit of stretch to it, so it kind of reminds me of like wetsuit material, sort of kind of like jacket slash wetsuit material. But anyway, it fits the cards exactly, so it's a pretty snug fit when you put it in here, and it's, you know, zipped up. They're perfect. They're, you know, protected. So if you want to throw this in your purse or your bag, or, you know, if you're going traveling or just going across town, you know, you have something nice to put it in. You know, I think this is really good quality. I mean, like, check that out. But okay, let's get into the guidebook here. Yes, you can see my fingerprints are all over it because it is that really soft, they call it rose petal finish, you know, that a lot of people like to have on their tarot cards or oracle cards, but it's on this guidebook, which is pretty cool. So let's just get into the table of contents here. You know, there's a lot of background on the cards, so the creator goes through all of that. There's suggestions for how to use the cards, but of course, you know, that's always up to you. And then we get into the actual cards themselves, and there's a lot of good stuff there. Plus there's bibliography section, which I always appreciate, so that if you would like to find out where the creator got a lot of his or her information, and you would like to maybe do a deeper dive into reading into a particular area, I think that's pretty cool. So let's actually like jump to maybe what one of the cards might say. So let's say we picked up the Totem of Fire. So yes, this is in black and white, but the cards are not. Well, kind of not. Kind of, sort of. Well, you'll see. So it's a Spirits of Fire, and then we have Salamanders. It talks a little bit about the essence of salamander and what it means to have a totem of fire. And then it goes into the shadow of the card, if you wanted to look into that. And then what's exactly on that particular card, like the actual pictures, like, what are those? Because sometimes there's a person on there and you might be like, oh, who is that person? You know, it'll say here. But there's a lot of questions, so you can do some journaling. This would be good for one card draws if you wanted to do it that way. I myself actually found this is really good for spirit communication. I don't know. I've seen a few other people use it for spirit communication, but I don't know. I think for me, that's what I've been using it for, because I tried to do it for one card draws and it was like okay, but I don't know. You'll see. Oh, and I also have to show you that the cards are broken up into different categories. So let's see, where would that be? Maybe components. So let's go to page 5. Okay, yes. Let me quickly go over the different components of the oracle. So it says it's the cards are all separated into different categories. So you have the Muses category. So there's different, like more like the people cards, but sometimes there could be animal cards for that. Then there's animals and alchemy, like you saw the Totem of Fire, you know, so there's going to be animals in there. And then I think there's She does talk about the Greek muses and the arts. Maybe that's just the two sections. Okay, here we go. Yes. The first section contains the majority of the cards in the deck, which are listed alphabetically. This includes the cards with traditional and merged archetypes and oracles with magical significance. There are 4 totem cards, which represent the 4 mystical creatures of the suits in the tarot, bringing the 4 elements and directions of magic into the oracle to be used. The second grouping of cards consists of the 10 muse cards, and they are arranged alphabetically in their own section so that you can read about the muses together. The third grouping comprises 6 alchemy cards, each represented by an animal. They are arranged in order of procedure in the Animals in Alchemy section. Yeah, and then that's it. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that when we end up going through all of the cards. So you are given 1 title card, and then the rest are the actual like cards. But let's take a look at the title card. And here are the backings of the cards. And the size is your standard tarot size. So it's like what, 2 3/4 and oh, I forget the length. Was it 5? But anyway, it's, you know, if you wanted to do reversals with Oracle, obviously this is possible. You can see that it has that linen finish to it. It's very pliable. For me, I would like cards to be a little bit thicker, but you know, since it has that linen finish, you know they're not going to fall apart. So it's a good quality cardstock. It's just, for me, in my personal taste, I just like my cards a little bit thicker because I like them to be a little stiffer. But those people who are maybe riffle shufflers, this is really good cardstock for that. You know, it definitely has a lot of bend and a lot of give to it. But, you know, I am not unhappy with this deck at all. I love it. And yeah, that's why I'm reviewing it, because I'm in love with it and I want to show you guys too. So let's just go ahead and jump into the cards. So as you can see, that they are kind of in black and white, but they also have like an overlay, kind of like a stained overlay on it, which is pretty cool. I enjoy the font that's used at the bottom. I think it really goes with the imagery and kind of like the mood of the deck itself. So it is kind of has that old-timey, darker kind of feel to it. But like I said, I like to use this for spirit work, spirit communication, and I feel that the old pictures that are in here, although they are collaged, obviously, you know, the creator has added a little bit to it to kind of bring alive whatever the keyword is down here, like Shadow Queen. Yeah, I dig it. And I think that the people come through, you know, their spiritual energy and the animals as well, to kind of help strengthen that spirit communication. Queen of Roses. So some cards have a little bit of color, like you can see with the lion and everything. So it's not all black and white. That's why I said before, it's kind of sort of black and white, but not all of it. I love this one, kind of like the wings of Isis put on this beautiful Japanese woman. So some of these pictures are of famous people, and some of them are pictures that were found in like antique shops. And so like this, you could see it's been layered with like a letter on top. The unknown card is pretty cool. It's kind of like the weird card, or not weird card, but weird rune, you know, in the runes, the Futhark. And I love that there's a lunar masculine. I think the only time I've seen the moon as being portrayed as masculine is in the Hoodoo Tarot. Female is the sun and male is the moon. And here's that totem of fire. I love salamander, by the way, like working with that animal energy. And of course, this ancestor card, freaking awesome. But then here you have it too. You have the male as the sun and female as the moon. So I like that there's both in this deck. Josephine Baker, heck yes, my girl. I love that these cards bring up so much, and I love how versatile they are. So like I said, I use them for spirit communication, but I know that there are people who use them for a variety of different ways. So I think that's pretty cool. And the clarity of the cards is phenomenal. Sometimes people make oracle decks and they'll have some great images, but just at whatever size they were saved at, when it's blown up for a card, it just gets a little fuzzy or pixelated. That Keeper of Time is pretty cool. And I love this reflection, because here we have the reflection looks a lot different than the person that's in front of it, which I think is like creepy but cool at the same time. And the psychic portal, you have the Ouija board behind her, and lots of layering of different things on top, which I think is cool. And here we have the witch almost like receding into the ethers, which is also pretty freaking rad. There's that solar feminine card. This one's come up a lot for me. And that's probably because I have a couple of portals in my house. So we get a lot of spirits that come through. So I constantly have to keep everything as high vibe and clean as possible here, energetically speaking. Well, and physically speaking. And the last one, I think this is, yes, Totality and Infinity, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and give these a shuffle. We'll pull a card. If the message is for you, then that's awesome. I don't have this for anybody in particular. It's just, hey, whoever needs to hear this message, I hope they hear it at some point in time. And we'll look into the guidebook for what it says. So let's find a card for somebody out there, their best and highest good. And that card is Boundaries. All right, well, at this point in time, as I film this, we are working on some major boundaries as a species. All right, so let's look into the guidebook. Actually, I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see this card. We have the moon like, what? She's like, back off, bro. Okay. So let's look into the guidebook for boundaries. And I think she said this is in alphabetical order. Yep, here we go. All right, boundaries. So first let's actually look at the card itself. What's in the card itself? The central image came from a 19th century French chocolate advertisement. The brick wall around the woman is the metaphor for boundaries. It's blue because the energy is softer and more peaceful. We don't have to be harsh with boundaries, just honest with our self-expression. The moon is connected to the psychic and emotional realms. The woman's posture seems to indicate the energetic boundaries. may be necessary. So take a good look at that again. All right, so I'll just read the first paragraph then. For the essence of the card, here you have some keywords: relations, self-care, and psychic shield. This oracle card is about setting various boundaries in healthy relationships. Boundaries can strengthen relationships and can vary depending on context and whom we are with. Setting boundaries is significant for personal as well as professional relationships. Personal boundaries develop in a mutual way over time in a relationship because of reciprocal sharing and trust. Professional boundaries are different because a framework is established at the very beginning of the relationship. Written policies, procedures, and contracts are examples of communicating specific boundaries. As professionals, this makes our expectations clear to customers, peers, or clients. And then it'll go on a little bit more about maybe some journaling that you can do for this. So anyway, that was the Divine Muses Oracle. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you were looking into maybe getting this deck, I hope this was helpful for you, and maybe you just stopped by because you wanted to look at some awesome artwork, and in that case, I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, if you have any comments or questions, leave that down below. And if you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. I have not only my readings, but my lovely bracelets that I make, my salves, my sprays. I only have a few witch kits left, so definitely check that out. I also have my Wally's World Oracle, which is a deck that I created. Yes, I too am a deck creator. This was community created and community funded. So if you're interested, check out my shop for that. And I also have my newsletter on my website, which is free. I only hit your inbox once a month. And I have all kinds of witchy goodies on there, simple crafty DIYs and actual arts and crafts DIYs, spells that I'm doing, crystals that I'm working with, teas that I'm drinking, books that I'm reading, decks I'm working with, and lots of other goodies. So if that interests you, definitely sign up. Like I said, it's free, and I only hit that inbox once a month. And if you want to throw a little tea money my way, think about joining the KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot. For as little as $1 a month, you get all kinds of freebies and access. So definitely go check that out. And I will catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.